the media are actively complicit in this anti-Israel blood libel, in this anti-Jewish blood libel. Okay, they are actively complicit at this point in what amounts to a blood libel against Jews, suggesting that Jews are indiscriminately shooting people en masse. It is a lie. It is not true. Hey, here is tape of Palestinians attempting to breach the border fence. Israel has been dropping leaflets all over Gaza saying, do not try to approach the border fence or you will be shot. That's because they've been using the border fence, trying to break through the border fence in order to kill Jews. Yesterday, they were saying openly, there were Palestinians who were telling the press openly what their goal was. It was so funny. The press was trying to say, well, you guys don't really mean any of this stuff, right? You don't really mean any of this stuff. On NPR, one of the NPR anchors asked a Gazan with a kite with a swastika on it why he was flying a kite with a swastika on it. And he said, the Jews go crazy when you mention Hitler. So Steve Inskeep, who's the anchor, he asked if he knows the Israelis are using the swastikas to discredit Gazans. Right, so NPR trying to change the story into, well, they're selectively choosing your kite with the swastika. That's what they're doing here. So what does the Gazan say? He says, it's what we mean. We want them to burn. They're not being subtle. There's no subtlety here. Okay, the Gaza Strip is filled with people who want Israel destroyed and want to kill Jews. Okay, and those people have elected people in the Hamas government in order to do just that. If they don't like what's going on in the Gaza Strip, well, they're supposedly supposed to have elections. Now, there are a lot of people who are peace-loving, I'm sure, in the Gaza Strip, but not the people who were approaching the border yesterday. Those are not people who are interested in peace, and they're certainly interested in being used as human shields by Hamas. There's no question that this is what Hamas is doing. They've admitted this. Hey, here's this tape of Palestinians attempting to breach the border wall. Okay, you can see that these guys are bringing sandbags toward the border wall. And now you see this kid, they're sending out kids and teenagers to bring tires to the border wall and then burn the tires as a distraction, as a smoke screen. And then you can see all these guys hiding behind the hill. They've been trying to go up to the border fence with bolt cutters and trying to cut through the border fence. This is one of the things that they've been doing. Also, Israel had experienced yesterday a serious problem. Okay, does this look like peaceful protest to you? It's not peaceful protest. You see these giant clouds of black smoke that are coming from tire fires that are being used to obscure the terrorist activities of people along the border. The IDF, the Israeli Defense Forces, they tweeted out tape of yesterday of shooting attack on Israeli forces. You're told that Israel was firing on unarmed people. The IDF tweeted out yesterday afternoon, the IDF received intelligence that Hamas operatives were preparing to cross through the security fence from northern Gaza. IDF special forces arrived at the scene, and 8 armed terrorists hurled pipe bombs and grenades at the soldiers and the security fence. And they've made the tape available for anyone to look at online. But we're being told by the media that Israel is the real problem here. Israel obviously is the serious issue. All of the evidence is that Hamas is using human shields, that Hamas is attempting to create headlines, and they're doing just that. They're doing just that. They're happy to do just that. Okay, according to the Israeli security agency, Yahya Aishli is a Hamas member arrested on April 29th. He told them that Hamas was instructing its activists to cut the fence, that they want their activity to be seen, quote, in the international media as a popular uprising and not as a violent action led by its militants, and that Hamas members are embedded in the general population for purposes of public relations. Another Palestinian terrorist captured by Israel said that, quote, Hamas militants in civilian clothes encourage children to try to cross the fence in order to steal IDF equipment. In other words, Hamas is using human shields, they're using women, they're using children. They're trying to breach the fence. Their plan here is that the operatives are not going to breach the fence, they're going to let women and children do it, and then they're going to rush through into Israel and attempt to kill as many Jews as possible. Never mind that Hamas has participated in an ongoing war with Israel since its election in 2006. They fought Israel in 2006, 2008, 2012, 2014, and now. Okay, never mind that. It must be the Israelis. It must be Ivanka Trump. This must be Ivanka Trump's fault. Before Ivanka Trump, none of this was happening. Before Ivanka Trump, it wasn't like Hamas was an evil terrorist group trying to kill people. It wasn't like they committed homicide bombings trying to murder people. No, they would never do anything like that. That would be crazy. They're nice people. They're really great. By the way, here's some of the protesters chanting "Death to America" and "Death to the Zionists" yesterday. Very nice people. That means death to America. Means death to the Zionists. Yeah, just charming folks. By the way, good indicator that you're not involved in normal protesting when you've got your face covered like that, because you don't want the Israeli troops to know exactly who you are. Well, the White House did the right thing here. The White House said the Hamas is to blame. So here's Raj Shah from the White House doing the right thing. What a difference between the Trump administration, the Obama administration. The Obama administration constantly looking for an excuse to blame the only democracy in the Middle East for defending itself. But Raj Shah not doing that at the White House. Good for him.
Well, we believe that Hamas is responsible for these tragic deaths. That they're rather cynical exploitation of the situation. It is what's leading to these deaths, and we want them to stop.
And that obviously is true. Jared Kushner said the same thing yesterday at the Jerusalem embassy. Everybody was aware that this was going on in Gaza. And Kushner said, listen, the people who are provoking violence are the problem. That would be Hamas.